Hi guys, it's Hani here. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to SugarVeil collaboration. Today I teamed up with several of my YouTuber friends and we're gonna show you how to make these beautiful treats using SugarVeil icing. You can find all of these tutorials posted in the SugarVeil playlist. Link can be found in the description box under the video. And I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful wedding cookies. These are cookies stacked on top of each other, and I'm going to show you how to decorate them with SugarVeil. First we have to make the SugarVeil icing. I'm going to be using vanilla SugarVeil. You also have an option of chocolate SugarVeil icing. When making the SugarVeil icing, make sure you measure all of the ingredients according to the recipe. I'm using well-tapped water. If you have water treated with a water softener, it's recommended that you use store-bought water or distilled water instead. Now give it a quick stir and then using your handheld mixer, you want to beat this for 4 minutes until it turns into a thick marshmallowy consistency, just like this. Cover it with plastic wrap. I'm going to color small portion with some black to get a nice gray color. Here are a few other tools I'll be using: kitchen towel and warm water, cornstarch wrapped in cheesecloth, and also food only clean dry brush. Start by applying cornstarch onto the silicone mat and then remove the excess. Now using a large SugarVeil spreader, spread the icing and press it into the mat. So as you are dragging the spreader, you're also pressing down, filling the silicone mat. Now remove the excess SugarVeil and take a clean damp kitchen towel and clean the edge of the spreader. And just run it through one last time. And now I'm going to bake this in the preheated oven. At this point it's really sticky throughout. Once baked, it shouldn't be sticky. And I'm going to remove it from the baking sheet and I'm laying it onto a damp kitchen towel. And now using clean damp paper towels, I'm wiping the whole surface, removing the residue, and also I'm introducing moisture to the SugarVeil. So at this point it's again slightly sticky. I'm going to let it be for about 8 to 10 minutes until it's no longer sticky. Now it's not sticking anymore, so I'm going to add another layer. This is going to be the backing layer. And the backing layer is going to be white, so I'm just going to add an even layer of white SugarVeil on top of this. If you made the SugarVeil, let's say 2 hours prior you start making the lace, make sure that you beat it again for 1 minute, and same applies if you had your SugarVeil icing stored in the refrigerator. You have to rebeat it for 1 minute before you fill in the silicone mat. Now we're gonna bake this off again until no longer sticky. Now the baking time can vary depending on your location. I was working in a really dry environment, that's why I'm putting the damp kitchen towel underneath the mat and I'm folding it close to the edges because the edges are the first one to dry out, so this way I'm keeping them moist and they're not gonna dry out as quickly. And we're gonna let this sit for about 8 to 10 minutes. Once you're ready to remove the lace from the silicone mat, dust some wax paper sheet with cornstarch and then flip the mat on top of it. Use a small fin tool to loosen up the edges. If the lace feels too flexible, it means it needs a little more time to set up, so give it a few more minutes. And then use a large spreader and press the lace down. If it's sticky, you can also dust the tool with some cornstarch and then again, press it down, press the lace firmly, and then pull the silicone mat away from the lace. Now there is a spot that is slightly stubborn, so I'm using a small fin tool to loosen it up a little bit, and then I'm going to finish with larger spreader to remove the whole lace. Now if you were to use this particular lace to decorate a cake, you'll probably have to trim the edge where that pretty scalloped edges, but I'm going to use a punch to make flowers, so it doesn't really affect my design, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. To make the second lace, I'm using, I think this is probably the most popular silicone mat that I've seen online being used for different projects, for cakes, cookies, cupcakes, and so on. I'm also using gray SugarVeil icing to make this lace. Wipe the edge of the spreader with damp kitchen towel and then run it through the lace one last time, and then we're just going to bake this off until no longer sticky, about 9 to 10 minutes. And then I'm again going to put this on top of the damp kitchen towel, and then using clean damp paper towels remove the residue. This is a really crucial step because if you don't remove the residue properly, you'll end up with an ugly lace. You want really nice sharp edges. And what the wiping does, it also introduces moisture to the lace so it can set properly. Once it's ready, you can see that the edges are becoming loose. I find using a small fin tool works really well just to loosen up the edge, so we can use a large spreader to hold it down. Like I said before, if you feel that it's stretching too much, then it means that you have to give it a few more minutes to set. Okay, so this one is out and you just have to repeat that on the other side. Now I'm going to use this lace within a few days, so I'm just storing it like this. Ideally you want to put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in a airtight container if you were to use it in a few weeks or so, so it doesn't dry out on you. Now I'm using a small craft bunch and I'm just going to cut out a bunch of flowers from the first lace we made. And I'm going to shape these flowers. I'm just going to put these into my little tray. This is just a tray from some chocolate candies I have. And to use this lace, you can use this pretty border for different projects. You can just store it for later. But I'm going to use these pretty lace flowers. So you have to cut these out using scissors and then store them in an airtight container between pieces of wax paper. You can also put them in Ziploc bags and then into an airtight container if you were to store them for a longer period of time. Now I'm going to airbrush these lace flowers with silver airbrush food coloring. With airbrushing, you are introducing moisture to this lace, so what's gonna happen in 2-3 minutes, the lace will become really sticky. Make sure you don't touch it now. You have to let it set. For me, it took about 30 minutes to set. And once set, you can just remove it from the paper towel. Use a spatula to loosen up the edges of your airbrushed lace pieces and then remove it from the paper towel. Now to make the cookies, I'm using my sugar cookie dough recipe, and I'm using 3 different sizes of round cookie cutters just so we can stack the cookies on top of each other, creating a wedding cake. I'm going to color my sugar cookie dough with some pink food coloring, creating ombre colors. When coloring sugar cookie dough, I personally prefer coloring the dough right after I make the dough, and then I refrigerate the dough. So then you can make the cookies. Once you have the cookies, you have to let them cool completely before you start decorating them. I'm going to decorate them with gray royal icing, and I'm going to decorate 3 cookies, the bottom large one, the middle one, and the top one. Okay, once we have these cookies decorated with royal icing, airbrush them with silver airbrush food coloring. Let them air dry for a couple minutes. Now I'm fitting my piping bag with a star tip, and I'm going to fill the bag with stiff icing. Another option is to leave the cookies bare without decorating the top of the cookies with gray, and then use the white and the Wilton piping tip number 16 pipe a border. And now you can place the cookie on top, and repeat this with all of the cookies. Then let them set for about 30 minutes, and then you can stack them on top of each other. And that's how you can make this undecorated version. For the decorated version, I'm also going to use a little bit of icing in the center and just stack these on top of each other. Now we're ready to decorate these with the lace that we made. So I'm cutting the flowers in half, and I'm just going to brush a little bit of water on the back of the lace, and then we can start attaching the lace onto the cookies. You just want to hold it in place for a few seconds, and it's going to stick to the surface. To attach the flowers, I'm using dot of stiff icing. Once you attach all of the flowers, we are going to add a little cute pink pearl that's gonna be center of the flower. And to do that, I'm going to use the SugarVeil vacuum pickup tool. It has an on and on switch on the side, and as you see, it's moving a little bit. It's vibrating, so it's moving on my counter, and I'm going to put it on a rubber mat to prevent that. Now this dispenser has a hole, and this tip, you can see there's a small miniature suction cup. So as you hold your finger on the hole, as you close it, you can pick up the pearl, and once you release it from that opening, the pearl will just fall off. And you can use this for different small objects that are really hard to pick up with your fingers or even tweezers. So I'm adding a little bit of stiff royal icing, and then we're gonna pick up the pearl with the vacuum tool and attach it to the flower. And that's how you can make these beautiful wedding cookies. Now remember, you can make all of the decorations ahead of time, so it's gonna save you a lot of time when decorating. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in a comment section down below. I love reading your comments. And be sure to check out the rest of the collaboration. Playlist link is posted down below in the description area. For more lacy ideas, check out how to make these beautiful lace cookies or how to make chocolate lace using SugarVeil mat. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.